Hey guys, Coach Joey here at Crossfit Spokane, and today we're going to be talking about load versus capacity and how injury happens. Okay, so I think we've all been there at some point where all of a sudden you do a workout or you go play a sport and then you feel a little tweak in your shoulder, your knee, your hip, something like that. And there's something simple here that can kind of explain why that happens each and every time. So down here we have load. That's going to be your stress load on any given day. And then right here is your capacity line. And then on this side here, we have pre-existing conditions and then your needs and wants. And so let's break it down a little bit. So down here, this little box, that accounts for any previous injury you've had. So if you've had surgeries or if you've had constant pain caused from something, that's going to be in this box down here. So that box represents a stress load on your body for that day. The next one is sleep, diet, and stress. Okay, this box can be massive or tiny depending on how much you take into account your sleep, diet, and stress. And each one of those things kind of rolls into the next. So if you're not eating well, you're probably going to be stressing your body out. If you're not sleeping well, you're definitely stressing your body out. And then those two things just causes you to stress even more. After that, we have a functional diagnosis. So here at CrossFit Spokane, every member gets a mobility flexibility screen for their upper and lower body. That's about half the functional diagnosis. And then the other half is a strength balance test to find any imbalances going on in your body. Left to right legs, maybe one is stronger than the other. Your shoulders might be pulling harder or pressing harder than the other. So that box can be also massive or very, very small. And then after that, we have our needs and wants. So down here, every day you wake up, that stuff is already there from the day, the weeks, the months before. And then up here, this is your daily stress. So we have your job. We all know that if you don't work one day, you're way less stressed and you feel like you have way more energy. So that box, depending on how much you love or hate your job, how active it is, how much just mentally stressful it is, that box can change there. And then we have our home life. So if you have kids, if you have pets, if you have a lot of errands you have to run on a daily basis, that box changes all the time too. And then up here, we have your workouts. So let's say the workout today is running, pull-ups, and some snatches, and you're feeling pretty good. You're going through it all right. And then that very last snatch at the very end of the workout, you're like, ooh, I felt that a little bit more in my shoulder than I thought I would. And then it kind of bugs you for the next couple days. And then that next day, your stress is a little bit higher because you're sore, you're beat up, and you feel that little kink in your shoulder. So that box gets bigger, and then you work out again. And then we're just running into that line day after day without addressing any of these issues. So right when you hit that capacity line, that's where you start to feel something. And if you keep hitting that capacity line without taking a couple rest days or just taking care of your body, that's where the consistent injury really comes in. So if we come over here, now the previous injury, you can't really change that one too much. So that box will usually stay the same depending on what means you go about affecting that. And then the stress, diet, and sleep. Now that's the one that you're probably most in power of, and the one that we try to educate as much as we can, given that in here we're focused on working out and getting you out of pain. Out there is the sleep, diet, and stress. After that, the functional diagnosis, that's where we take you into a one-on-one setting and start doing programming or personal training based on your needs and getting you out of pain and moving better. The big thing there is just doing everything that's very specific to you because you can't fix individual problems in a group setting. And then after that, your work, your home life, those are probably going to be about the same. We're not going to change those too much on a daily basis unless you don't work one day or you just have a day away from your house life, that kind of thing. And then up here, if you notice, now that these boxes have gotten smaller, we have more room to do more things on a daily basis. And we're actually still under our capacity line for the day. So that's how some people can do really hard workouts and then go maybe after go for a really long hike or a really long run and feel good. And then making sure you back off and take a rest when needed. So up here, you got a little bit more volume on the things that you need and want to do. And you didn't even run into your capacity line. And then as anyone who tries in their fitness journey, when you start out, your overall capacity probably isn't that high, depending on what you did before. And then as you get more fitness under your belt and more training, that capacity line goes up. You can do more things you want to do and just live a happier, healthier life.